We're at the Goodwill in Fresno, California, and we're hoping for good luck. Please stay tuned for the haul at the end of the video, where I show you everything that we purchased and how much we paid. Oh my goodness, I had no idea what this thing was. And do you know what it is? It's a pan for roasting chicken with the beer can in the center. I had no idea. I've never seen one before. It was stoneware and it was in really good condition. This would have been a good score. I have not been brave enough to purchase pillows, but this one it looked brand new and it was in good condition. It also had the zipper so that you can pull out the insert and you could wash it independently. Decorative pillows are so expensive, so if you could find a good quality one in excellent condition, I don't know, it might be worth a chance. Please make sure to like and subscribe. There is no cost to you for subscribing, but it does help out my channel. As usual, I'm checking out the crystal candle holders. There's something about crystal I love. This particular one was not a good quality one. It was very, very lightweight for its appearance. Usually they're quite heavy. This would have been great if our names were Daryl and Pat. This pretty little sugar dish is by Noritake, and I was hoping that it was Port Marion, but it wasn't. It is, however, quite sweet, and I did purchase that. And I was shocked to find out that it was 25 cents. I can't help singing along when there's a good song on at the thrift store. I contemplated getting this brand new package of little red, white, and blue twinkle lights, but they wanted $5 for it, so I passed. This pretty little dish is a Homer Laughlin, and I did not pick it up because for two reasons. The gilding was very worn around the edges, and they also wanted $4.79 for it, so I had to leave it there. Look at all these fun dessert treat things. They wanted $10 a piece, so we passed. These plates were collector plates from Iowa, and I believe at least one of them was a Vernon Kilns. I have since found out that those people are collecting them and they are selling. And I did recently sell one for a very good price. I should have purchased these. I did not. So from now on, I'm going to be on the lookout for them. And it doesn't matter if they're from a state that you don't personally have connections to. They will still sell because other people have connections to those states. My husband was looking at this very large soup tureen. It was an inexpensive import, so we didn't purchase that. They had a very limited selection at that Goodwill, not very many pieces, so we decided to go on to a different Goodwill. This was kind of a nice teapot. It was very simple, very mid-century modern, and it was vintage, made in Korea. We did not get this little rice-eyed bowl, but I'm going to show you a set that I have. I have a little teapot and a couple of other pieces. Exactly the same rice-eye collection, and I think they're so beautiful. You can see through the little grains of rice. I'll show it to you in the haul. I love it. This was a very pretty vintage Courier Knives sugar dish, and I did not get it because it was $4.79. It was not marked. I don't know if it's Churchill or other quality name brands, so I decided to leave it there. There were so many people this day at the store that there were no carts to be found, so they were all being used up. So we had to hold on to anything that we found that we were contemplating. I'm now noticing the Wexford canister that they had sitting there. It was probably $4.79 or $9.79. Those were their favorite prices of the day. So had I noticed it, I'm not sure that I would have picked it up anyway. Honestly, unless it was a really, really good price, I know I wouldn't have gotten it. This dish was a homemade pottery project, but I think they did a very nice job. It was kind of pretty. Goodwill wanted $10 for this spoon rest, and we were trying to figure out why. It wasn't anything special, so we left it there. These were such pretty dolphin figurines. They had the soapstone one, and then they had another one where they had carved a dolphin inside a dolphin, like a smaller one. It was so interesting. This one had a brass dolphin in it, along with another soapstone one. Each of the bags was listed at $4.79, and this dolphin here, this two-tone one, was $9.79. Yikes! This tiny little one was $9 too. Crazy. Somebody donated their entire dolphin collection. It was so sad. There were so many pieces, but they wanted a lot of money for each of the pieces. This bag had 2 solid wood dolphins in it. Once again, very expensive. They wanted $15 for the bag. We exhausted all our options at the Goodwill, so we decided to go and move on to a Salvation Army. Did you see how quickly I ran to these cups? They're Polish pottery and they are stunning. This sauce pitcher had really pretty detail, and I couldn't make out the mark. I did not recognize it, so I decided to leave it there. This is a vintage 1960s little sugar dish from Knott's Berry Farm, which is an amusement park here in California. It's Western themed, and my mom and dad would always take me there when I was young. Sadly, it doesn't sell for very much, which is a little surprising to me, but it doesn't. Holy smokes! This little teapot is very pretty. It has very pretty details, but it's from a company I've never heard from, and also they wanted $11 for it. This patriotic tray was so fabulous. Sad part is they wanted $13 for it, and I think I was being a little frugal that day, and I did not purchase it. This canister was so pretty and so surprising because it's actually Polish, and it's a very nice piece, and it does sell for a lot of money, but I'm going to keep it for myself. We exhausted all our options at the Salvation Army there, so we moved on to another Goodwill in Fresno. Look at this beautiful blue onion pattern platter, and it was made in Japan, and they wanted $5 for it. I decided to pass on it because I do have a lot of blue and white transferware, and I decided to leave it there for somebody else who will fall in love with it and take it home. This store is very hit and miss. Twice in 2 different trips we found some Amberina, and then ever since then we really haven't had much luck at all. These brown drip glaze plates were vintage, and they were very, very tempting. They were very, very scratched up, so I decided to pass on them, although they had them for a really good price. I believe they were bundled for $4.79. This was such a detailed candle, wasn't it? I honestly don't know how that hasn't melted with the temperatures we get. This was a very pretty silver-plated butter dish. I contemplated it for my decor, but I really don't have the space for it, so I had to leave it behind. It's always a good idea to check it to see if it is silver. It will say sterling or 925. I wasn't quite sure what that silver plated piece was. The only thing is that the lid was broken on it, so decided to pass on that one as well. Oh my goodness, this moose was so fun. I had to get him. My husband, of course, loves moose, but this one was just too much fun not to bring home. And he is vintage from Orchard Supply, and I don't think they're in business any longer. But I am going to clean him off, get him nice and clean, and I'm not sure if I'm not going to keep him or maybe give him to my son and daughter-in-law for their Christmas decor. I'm not sure, but he is too cute to leave behind. This is a tumbler from the Aulani Disney Resort in Hawaii, and pieces like these are selling very well online. Okay, so these are the items we found when we went shopping in Fresno to the Salvation Army and to Goodwill's. So I'm going to start with this Lily Pulitzer cup, and it is so cute. It has little hidden lions on it. It's an oversized mug, and as you can see, it has gold detail, and it was just pristine. It's no damage to it, and I got it for 25 cents. This jar is from Poland, and it's by a company called Tadar. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it, but it is a really good quality container. The stag that's sitting on top of it is not going anywhere. It's so solid on there, and it's a very heavy piece, and it is that gold luster on it is just beautiful. It does not appear to have ever been used, and I am going to hold on to this because I love using containers like this for when I make granola or other treats during the holidays. I love using this. I found these Mr. and Mrs. coffee cups with their lids, and I thought they were adorable. So for 25 cents a piece, I thought I'd buy them and give them a shot, see if anybody thought that they're as cute as I do. I've never purchased fabric at the thrift store before, but I really liked this. I thought that perhaps I could make throw pillows for my sofa in my family room, and I love the color scheme and the paisley design, so I thought I'd give it a try and see how I like it. And for $4.79, I figured I couldn't go wrong. I found these vintage German dessert forks, and I just really like them. They're so pretty. They're really small dessert forks, and I think that these are going to work out beautifully for the holidays when I have all the family over and we can just enjoy being together and eating our desserts. I also really liked the boxes that they were in. Look at how nice these boxes were. I may even sell just the boxes. I believe the forks are silver plated, and look at how beautiful they are. I did purchase this bag of dolphins. There's only 2 of them in there, but the brass one alone would be worth more than the $4.79 I paid. And the other one is a porpoise, perhaps, or maybe it is a dolphin, and it's carved, it's made out of soapstone, and they're both absolutely beautiful. I'm debating whether I'm gonna sell them or keep them both for myself. When I first saw this, I got really excited because I thought it was Port Marion, but it's not. It's actually Noritake, and it's vintage. It's really pretty. It's so sweet, and I got it for 25 cents, and I thought that was a complete steal. So I love it. It is a sugar dish, and it's beautiful. And what's really awesome is that you can use these not just for the sugar that it was intended for, but you can use it as a salt cellar, and it would work beautifully on your counter. We found 2 of these Halifax cups. They are done so beautifully. They're impressed. All the design is impressed, and it's in blues. I just couldn't leave those. And they were 25 cents a piece. How can you go wrong? They're not otagiri, but they do have that look. I also purchased this, which is the first time I've ever purchased a cup and teapot together, and they are from Nova Scotia. They've got the tartan. It's just so pretty, and I thought I would give that a chance. I've never purchased this design before, so I was excited to see it, and we paid $4.79 for it. It was made in England, and it is fine bone china, so I thought I would give it a try. I was excited to find this Wachtersbach made in Germany creamer, and I loved it. It's a beautiful blue. It has those beautiful teapot impressed. They're matte color. The rest of it is glazed, but the teapots are matte, and it is beautiful. I did not notice that the handle was broken when I picked it up. I did pay $4.79 for it, and so I will try and see if I can repair the handle and keep it for my own decor, because I do think it's so beautiful. When I saw these cups, I ran to them. They were $1 a piece, and they are Polish pottery, Boleslavic, and they have the peacock design on it. They are just so beautiful, so well made, Polish pottery, and I got them for $1 a piece. This is not a chip, it's actually a little bit of the blue glaze that dripped onto the edge there. This is California Pantry, and it's not a particularly special brand. Fell in love with it anyway. All the design is impressed, and it just feels so nicely made. It's very heavy duty, and I just picked it up because I thought it was really pretty. And I paid 25 cents. This tumbler is from the Aulani Resort, Disney Resort in Hawaii. It's made by Tervis, and it is a really good quality tumbler, and it has like the inner lining, which is a tumbler, and then an outer lining. It's weird how it's made, but it's really good quality, and we got it for $4.79. It's absolutely filthy. It needs a good washing, but it's in very good condition. I purchased this. It was a little bit of an impulse buy, but I thought it was really cute. It has the 2 arrows and that clip. I thought I could use this to clip my recipes onto when I'm preparing the meal. I got it for $1.50, so I didn't think that was too bad. My husband found this moose that I thought was hysterical. He is so funny, and he is perfect for home decor for the holidays. I am so excited to put him out. We will be cleaning him off really well and disinfecting him and everything, but he is so cute, and I will be putting him out for decor, and if I don't use him, I'll ask my daughter-in-laws if they want to use him for their decor. I also found this bunny that I thought was adorable. I saw him as I walked into the Salvation Army, and he didn't have a price, so I asked the lady at the register how much they were wanting for him, and she said $1.49, and I said sold. I really liked it. It's so cute for the holidays. For Easter, I will be putting him out. I wanted to show you my cleaning ritual that I go through. I put everything in a sink full of water, and I do put some of the Dawn dishwashing liquid in there because it takes off all the oily stuff as well. And I just let them soak in the soapy water, warm soapy water, for as long as possible. Sometimes I let it just sit there for an hour. It depends on how much time I have. You don't necessarily need that long. You need just a few minutes. When you see the stickers lifting up, that's when they'll start pretty much falling off, generally speaking. Unless they have been baked on for quite some time, then it is a little bit more difficult for them to come off. I have found that soaking the items, particularly the ones that have the clear packaging tape around them, and especially over the design, I keep it in the water so that the tape falls off the design and does not adhere and pull the design off. I don't know if you could see that, but the sticker part, the very sticky part of the sticker, did not want to come off this tumbler. So I will do a different method to show you how you can take the very sticky part of the sticker off without having to scrub it. For the most part, it's relatively easy to take all the stickers off. You do run across the sticker just not wanting to come off, and it does require a little bit more effort to try and get it off. And then also on the bottom of the cup, sometimes there is some grime, and so the magic eraser works wonders for this. if you have very sticky tape, the sticky part of the tape that is not wanting to come off, what you can do is put some oil. In this instance, I'm using baby oil on it and just kind of rubbing it on top, and then I'm doing something my manicurist would not be happy with, but I'm using my nail to try and scrape the residue off gently. You want to use something that is not going to scratch it up, but I'm using my nail, and I will be taking everything off. As you can see, it does work. And finally, for a final wash, just to get the oil residue off, and it is perfect. After I let this sit out for about a day on my patio and in the heat to get rid of any bugs, that potential bugs that could be in there, I also dusted it off, and then I sprayed it with disinfectant spray to make sure that it was nice and clean. These are the rice items that I was referring to that I have, and as you can see, I'm not sure if you can make it out very well, but these little grains of rice that you see, these little ovals, you can see through it in the light. So let me show you from here. You see how you can see through the porcelain? Isn't that pretty? And I have this little set here, and look at how beautiful this teapot is. See how you can see through the little grains of rice, and up here on the lid too. I just think it's so pretty. And look at how beautiful that design is everywhere. It's just so pretty. And this, you can use it, or it's good for decor too. It's very, very clean. And I just think it's so beautiful. And it goes with this little bowl and this little teacup. Isn't that pretty? It all matches, and I just think it's so sweet. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next week. If you like this video, click on this one, and don't forget to subscribe.